What's up? Jordan here. I'm going to be showing you how to fix a lot of the major issues with Max Payne, the first game. There is a sound issue which seems to be very prevalent for all the new systems that the sound won't play during the cutscenes for whatever reason. But there's a patch you can fix that. Then there's an FPS issue, which actually took me a long time to figure out that it was FPS that was causing this problem. You can't jump and you kind of stick to the walls a little bit. And during cutscenes, the people kind of stutter like they run in place. And then there is an anti-aliasing issue, which is a pretty easy fix. It won't let if your game won't let you boot the game up, it gives you like an error message. That's usually what it is the anti-aliasing issue. Then there's a full screen issue to get it out of Windows mode and get the game to play in full screen. But I'll start with the sound issue, which is, like I said, one of the more prevalent issues. All you need to do is you go to Google and type in Max Payne sound patch, and you go to Ultimate Max Payne 1, and it says it's for Windows 7 and for Vista, but it works for Windows 10 too. I'm not certain about the other versions of Windows, but I know it works for those three. I'm positive. And you click right here, Max Payne sound patch version 1.12. And if you download the sound patch, like most mods and patches, you need to have something to extract the files with, like 7-zip, or I think that's the name of it, WinRAR. I use WinRAR. After you install the sound patch, it should be right here on your main screen. It'll come up, like there'll be a folder, and there will be a couple of files too, I believe. I haven't done it in a while. But you just highlight them all, and you click extract to, and then you'll have to pick your location where you extract it to. And if for whatever reason it isn't here on your main screen, it will be in your downloads, which is what I was in. And you have to click extract to, highlight them, click extract to, and I'm going to show you the location manually. But what you would normally do is go to extract to, it'll bring up a little screen, and you will select the location. But I'm just going to show you this way. Here is where you would extract the sound patch to. It's going to be in your Steam library. Mine's in install D because that's my other hard drive with all the room. A lot of people's will probably be local disk C, but mine's in install D. You go to Steam library, Steam apps, common, and then you pick your game. Obviously this is going to be Max Payne, the first one, and there's my sound patch right there. So you just extract it to there. It's that simple. It fixes the sound issue. So unless you're running like a 2003 Hewlett-Packard, you're probably going to have the sound issue and have to install this patch. This is a great game, and don't let that little sound issue deter you because it's a real simple fix. Then the second issue is a frame rate or a frames per second issue. Like I said, it makes people stutter in cutscenes, and sometimes it makes the game unplayable. It's game breaking. And also there's a dream sequence where there's a blood trail. It's one of the most well-known Max Payne scenes, and you can't jump. It's like impossible to jump, and you have to jump on that dream sequence to get from spot to spot. And if you don't fix this, you're not going to be able to jump. And I found this out the hard way. I got almost the entire way through the sequence having to figure out how to make my guy jump high, but for the most part he doesn't jump. He just jumps in place. But I figured out it was a frames per second issue. The way you fix that is you're going to need to install something like NVIDIA Inspector. That's what I installed. There's other programs that will allow you to do this that have a frame rate limiter, but NVIDIA Inspector, it's 626 kilobytes. It's a real small download, and it's simple. So you click on your NVIDIA Inspector, you go to Driver Profile Settings. Sorry if my dog's barking, but yeah, they don't shut up even for videos. They are loudmouths. Okay, you go to your NVIDIA Inspector, and then Driver Profile Settings, the little screwdriver and the wrench here. And then there'll be a frame rate limiter here. Mine is obviously already set on 29 frames per second. It's usually on off, but you go in here, you go to 29 frames per second. You can do 32, it doesn't really matter. 29 frames per second, and you have to go to Apply Changes in the right-hand corner. If you don't apply changes, it ain't going to matter. So go to Apply Changes in the right-hand corner. That will fix that frame rate issue and allow the game to play the way it's supposed to play without any problems. Well, I guess other than these next two issues I'm going to mention. The next one is an anti-aliasing issue, which it's a pretty simple fix. Most people who are kind of savvy could figure it out, but not everybody is. I understand that. I'm not the best with computers either. I have to actually get help from other people for a lot of things. But this issue is a simple fix. If you got a beefy computer, you want everything to be up high, and you'd want anti-aliasing to be on 8 samples here in the options. But I have to turn my anti-aliasing completely off or the game won't work. I'll show you. I'll try 8 samples. I'll try and play it. I'll go through this. And then the game crashes. I get an error. So that I've heard some people can do 2 samples or 4 samples. So you can kind of fool around with it if you want. But I have to personally, mine has to be off or it will not play. That'll fix that issue and it'll let you play the game. The last one is probably the simplest of all. Most people can figure this out, but if you're not able to, then let me show you how. See how it's in windowed mode here? It isn't full screen. And if you can deal with that, you can play it that way, but I like it to be full screen. It's more immersive that way. You go to your task manager, you hit Control-Alt-Delete, go to your task manager, just hit the drop down on Max Payne, and then maximize it. And that takes care of that. And you're good to go. You're ready to play. All those issues, those are probably the biggest issues with the game. If you fix those, then the game will run like butter. It's such a fun game. It holds up even today. It's from 2001. All the bullet casings stay on the ground. Everything is destructible for the most part. The bullet time in the game is a blast. So I'm actually going to be doing a walkthrough of that game in my next video. I'm going to do a series, the Max Payne 1 walkthrough or Let's Play, whatever you want to call it. Then I'm going to do Max Payne 2. And then if I get all the way through that, which I will, I shouldn't say if, when I get all the way through that, I will buy the 3rd Max Payne, and I'll do a walkthrough on that one too. It's probably my least favorite. I like the first two. There's just a certain vibe to them, a noir vibe, really good storytelling, really good, it's almost like poetry, the dialogue in the game. The cutscenes are like comic book slides, and the writing is so well done. The third one is a little cornier, and kind of, if you're a real Max Payne fan and you play the first 2 games a lot, it's really noticeable when you play the 3rd one. I've heard that, but I've heard praise from some people too, so I guess to each your own. But if you want to tune in for the next video, I'll be doing the walkthrough, and you'll be able to check the game out and maybe buy it, or maybe you've already played it and you just want to see somebody else play it. People are weird. I'm the same way. I like to do that crap too. So tune in for the next video if you want to see it. Later.